Good morning, traders. This is Ed Carter with the Trader Vision 2020 Featured Trade Idea, the setup and trade plan for Friday, October 5th, 2018. Before we start, obvious thing to keep in mind is, let's see if we can't go here. The overall markets were in bad shape yesterday. We did get a bounce towards the end of the day, so the SPY bounced up off the 50. The diamonds may have bounced up off of the trend line that it's holding. The Qs had an awful day and are just barely holding the 50 as of the end of the day. Had to rally pretty good at the last part of the day to get there. And IWM has given up the ghost pretty much. Fallen down through the 50, down through even long-term trend, having long ago given up the short-term trend, and may, and that's a big may, have held a support level here towards the end of the day, but that is not a pretty chart any way you look at it. The good thing is that on the three most often viewed or quoted or talked about in the media indices, they are all still clearly trending bullish, clearly trending bullish, clearly trending bullish. So, all is not lost. The overall market in a longer term still remains bullish, but in the short term, that's ugly. There's no getting around that. We may have a M pattern here at the top in the SPYs, and of course it's not quite as clean type of M pattern there in the diamonds, and the Qs are pretty obvious. So with that in mind, the market is longer term bias to the bull side, short-term bias to the bear side, but after a big ugly day like this yesterday that we had Thursday, quite often we'll get a bounce, and we may get that today. Just be aware that it's Friday, so we've got not only the possibility for a bounce, but we've got weekend headline risk ahead of us that needs to be considered as well. With that all said, let's look at today's featured trade idea, ZNGA, ZNGA. As we can see, it's been in a downtrend here since June, so since the beginning of summer, and has retested a couple times, but nothing tremendously serious. Notice those were long wicks that tested at least a couple of the times. This time we have basically taken out, or at least we're currently challenging on a hammer type of follow through to a Morningstar type of signal off of the 50-day moving average. You can see that we are above the V-stop. I'm going to get rid of those here in a second so that they're not clouding our view. But you can see we're ahead above the V-stop, having seen it flip to the green side here a couple days ago, and we've broken through this resistance level. So let's turn off those V-stops now and go up to a wider chart so that we can look for some support and resistance. Here's the breakout level that we just basically took out yesterday. You can see we reacted to it a few times in the past. We might drop another level in here, something. Let's see. What does that look like? I guess that might be a close one. We're more or less touching there. We've got touches here and here, and several touches there, and a few touches there. over here. We touched it and kind of sitting on top of it there. We formed resistance there, some support there, and maybe this is the support the last few days. So that might be a protection type of stop. Up here at the highs, around 450, you can see that we have reacted in the past, both support and resistance. On up here at $5, right in that area, we've got again sorry about that. I'm fighting something in my throat today. We've basically found support and resistance again, up around that 565 level and up around this $5 level. So let's use those levels, go back to a daily chart, and plan out a trade. We'll look for an entry here. Let's look for an entry on a breakout. What's that do here? So it's right about there. Let's in fact give it just a little bit more than that. That'll work. So that's the entry we'll be looking at. We will look for a stop. What does V-stop say? V-stop says $4 is the stop, which would be right along the bottoms of these. I could buy that, but if I did that, I'm probably going to need a tighter entry. Well, I can buy that. Let's see what that does to us. When we do the plan. And let's draw in the trend line, maybe, that we're expecting. Something like that. And let's split the difference on that one. Take this one over. So that's the kind of thing we'll be looking for. Let's see if we can't plan a trade with that in mind. Okay, so our service has no data on report date for ZNGA. Let me look it up over here. Okay, it looks like 11.6 is what another service is reporting for us. So we've got a month. We've got 3 bullish indications and 2 bearish indications or conditions. We've got plenty of liquidity. We don't really have a plan a pattern other than the break of the downtrend. So this would be, you know, a shorter term trade, as it were, not off of a pattern which might run for some time. Let's look at an entry about what, 416 or something like that, and a stop about $4, I think is what I said V-stop said, and the first target of 458 and a second target of 498. It says we can do 937 shares. Let's try 900. Chart says that's only 3.6%. That'll work. If we sold 450 shares at that first target, we would get 2.62 to 1, making 10% at that first target. If we had to sell the entire trade there, we would in fact make our trade goal. That's excellent. That's the ideal as far as I'm concerned. However, if we can sell half and hold the remainder up to this $5 target area, we get almost 4 to 1, 3.88 to 1, and we're looking at overall almost a 15% trade and $560 in profit basically. So that will be our trade idea for today. Please evaluate this against your view of the market. Again, we're very bullish. We're very bearish. We may get a bounce, but we are bearish in the short term. That's certainly why the market bias is bearish in the short term, and this long-term symbol bias has not flipped over. But again, longer term, we're still in a bullish uptrend for the market. We're in a bullish uptrend for this ticker as well, both in the short term and medium term. So evaluate this against your view of the market. If you do decide to take it, I wish you the best of luck. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell down below. And we hope to see you in the trading room.